Hello, how are you all doing today? It's October the 6th, about 5 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Manitoba, Canada, and we're going to be taking a look at my most nostalgic coin of all time today, Ethereum. I would day trade Ethereum, I would swing trade it, and I would, of course, I hold Ethereum as well because I believe in it. But in terms of doing technical analysis, I don't really like to bring myself to that nostalgic level because it brings back a flood of memories. So for those that don't know, before we get into this amazingly detailed Elliot wave technical analysis, let me share with you my 1 minute story of Ethereum, okay? So about 2016, I write this article. That got actually about 500,000 views, if not more. Right? And I was very, if you guys haven't read it, go read it. May 2016, and it goes something like this. I write the first article on how to mine Ethereum, one of the most detailed ones that you guys will ever have seen back then. Okay, and I basically said something like this: what will 100 or 200 Ethereum mean 3 to 4 years from now? If you don't know, check out the history of popular coins like Bitcoin. Check out how much they skyrocketed. Find out how much regret everyone had, and they all had the chance to become millionaires, right? So what happened? I lose my job in 2016 early, got $2,000 to my name. Got to move back home to my mom and my dad's basement. A little bit embarrassing, right guys? Moving back home in your early 30s. Of course it is. So then I moved back home and I decided to put in some of that money into getting motherboards and GPUs. So I got 6 GPUs. Mining in my mom's basement and my dad's basement where they're paying for my hydro as well, okay? And my internet and my food bill and cooking and cleaning for me, you know, and stuff like that. Do my laundry, stuff like that, right? So I got 6 video cards mining it back in the day when it was like well under $10. My friends used to come over and make fun of me for mining Ethereum because they didn't understand what it was. They thought I was just like someone maybe just wasting my life or something with it, and they would literally like make fun of me. And I told them that I believe in Ethereum more than I believe in anything in the world. So I mined 200 Ethereum when they were under $10, okay? And then I had a little bit more money on the side, you know, from like EI and stuff, unemployment insurance, right? So, you know, getting a little bit of welfare money from the government because I was unemployed at that time. True story. So I rack up, I have another $2,000 about, right? So I put $2,000 into Ethereum in about January. Or sorry, $2,000 into Ethereum in January, and I got about 200 more. So here I am now sitting with 400 Ethereum coins. That's right, I'm sitting with 400 Ethereum coins, and this is now early January. Woo! Let's bring back memories, man. You guys remember that? When it was like $10? Surely enough, I caught the wave, man. I caught the wave like crazy. Sold at $350. Wow. Give me a moment, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Got a little bit emotional there. Can't let my baby Will see me, you know, in that kind of state. So here I am, making my first big trade ever. Making about I don't know, like a 3,000% profit. Something like that. So you guys can easily do the math, I'm sure, right? I made a little bit of money off of that. Selling 400 Ethereum, not about 350 bucks around there. But that's not the best part, okay? This was the best part right here. The best part was where I identified this type of structure right here, okay? That's right, right before the bull market broke out. And I was just waiting. I was waiting for it to break this high right here on Ethereum. And I waited, man. I waited so much. So here I am leveraging. This is not back when, like, during these days, guys, I was trading a lot on the side. I wasn't live trading in front of you guys yet. I was only doing technical analysis, right? So I leveraged about 50K 3.3 times. And of course the rest were in other things like EOS and IOTA at that time. And I rode the wave to not even close to there, to around right here, about $1,000 round number. So that was another really large percentage gain. And that's why I'm very nostalgic about Ethereum, because that's the story of how I literally, you know, pretty much got to say, and you know, it's a true story of this as well, that I was actually fired from my old job. It was some shitty company where I worked for doing like sales for Sharp as a territory manager doing office equipment at that time, and they fired me because I was just lazy. Apparently, I'm not good with people, but apparently I just don't have what it takes to work at a, selling photocopiers and business equipment to businesses, working 70 hours a week, 60 hours a week, making 40, 50K a year. Not qualified for that job. Really underqualified. But you know what? I went back to work, okay? Went back to work. And I had so much hatred in my heart at that time that I went there and I basically gave everyone the middle finger. Yeah, I went there and I gave everybody the middle finger at work. I walked in. And it was actually one of the most satisfying feelings of my life to be able to give my employers the middle fucking finger. Because they didn't believe in me, nor did any single one of my friends. But you know what? I believe in you. I believe in you. That's why I do what I try to do on Twitter. Because I know what it's like to have people not believe in you when you want to pursue a dream. So anyways, let's get into this technical analysis and enough with this, all right? Woo! You guys ready? We are not going to touch on this area over here. I think we've done it enough over the past few months. It's kind of funny how it's very conditioned for me to say months when I know soon I'm going to be saying in a few years, right? When we're referencing things in crypto. So we're not going to work on this area. We're going to work on this area over here, okay? And we're going to try to do a very detailed Elliot wave count. Okay, so we're going to work on this area right now. Now, I want to show you guys a correlation with this in Bitcoin, okay? First of all, this coin actually ended up moving the most, okay? It ended up moving the most, and let me just compare for you guys with Bitcoin. Sometimes it's good to positively correlate things, okay? So just take a look at this for a moment, and we're just going to compare, all right? So if you look, for example, at Bitcoin from the rally to April, it only moved up like 28% or something like that, right? But Ethereum ended up moving until the same day. It ended up moving about 133% actually, okay? So let me say that again. Bitcoin moved about 28% and Ethereum moved 133%. In fact, it was one of the most bullish coins this early year, right? All the way leading until, actually it's finally still down. We've had the most amazing bull run for Ethereum for such a long period of time. And can we expect anything less, like anything more of that right now? Maybe. That's what we're going to get into, okay? So, without further ado, let's get into this Ethereum technical analysis, this Elliot wave count, okay? Alright, so I'm going to show you guys what my count is right here. Okay, so my count right here is a leading first wave diagonal. Now, this is going to be very educational as well, and I'm going to reiterate some things, okay? Leading first wave diagonals are often found in the A structure, okay? The A structure or wave 1. That's generally where they're found, okay? I'm just going to Google it for you. Leading diagonal. Wait, let me just show you guys some of it, okay? So, for example, a leading diagonal is in wave 1 or A, right? So it's good to memorize these things. I'm just Googling it so you guys can see yourselves. Whereas an ending diagonal is usually found in the opposites, in wave 5 or C. Sometimes, right? Sometimes, actually, yeah, that's right. I was going to say something by accident there. An ending diagonal is found in wave 5 or C, and a leading diagonal is often found in wave 1 or A, okay? Now, the cool thing about leading diagonals is kind of like this. Like, it's not always 3, 3, 3, 3, okay? I want to be very clear about that. A leading diagonal is not always. I'm gonna pull up the Elliot wave PDF here for you, Robert. If you guys don't know about this, I highly recommend it. Just Google Elliot wave PDF Robert, and it's the first link right here. And this is the AJ Frost and Robert Crutcher edition. So let's go to leading diagonal, okay? Right here. All right. So let's just talk about this again. So you Google a basic definition, and then you Google an actual textbook definition. Now, I memorized a lot of these rules, as you guys know already, okay? Now, when a diagonal occurs in the wave 5 or C position, they take the 3-3-3-3-3 shape that Elliot described. However, in recent light, however, it has recently come to light that a variation on this pattern occasionally appears in the wave 1 position of impulses and in the A positions of zigzags, right? The characteristic overlappings of wave 1 and 4 and the convergence of boundary lines into a wedge shape remain as in the ending diagonal triangle. However, the subdivisions are different, tracing out a 5-3-5-3-5 pattern. So to summarize what this means is that a leading first wave diagonal is often found in waves 1 or A, and it can also be overlapping waves 2 and 4, right? Or sorry, waves 1 and 4 can overlap. And not only that, they're usually subdivided 5-3-5-3-5, right? So these are very important things to remember because these are very profitable plays to be making. Someone is blowing up my phone right now. Okay, anyways, I apologize for that. It's Sunday, right? So it's family day, family and friends day, kind of. So now that we've established the definition of these right here, let's go into this. So can we even argue that this is a first wave diagonal? Heck yeah, it is. Let me show you. Let's break it down. But break it down, guys. Okay. These ones are pretty easy to make, in my opinion. Okay. As long as the wave 2, okay, wave 2. Right here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? As long as wave 3 is not the shortest, and you know, wave 2 doesn't reach, as long as wave 2 and 4 are basically touching like that, we're good. It never even broke to the downside. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. It really does all depend. So the way that this divides is just really easy. You can count each one so easily. 1, 2, this is a huge 3, 4, and 5, right? ABC is most likely ABC there, and this one's even easier to read. I mean, you just look at, you know, it's not that hard, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one definitely subdivides as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so all of those have a 5-3-5-3-5 structure. Now, as long as all of these roughly touch as well, and you're getting some sort of bull traps that are showing up in that region, then I see that as okay as well. So the way that I would count this right here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? Now, we're saying to ourselves, well, waves 1 and 4 can overlap, yes. But another thing that we gotta wonder is this, okay? We have to wonder which wave is the smallest, okay? So let's just make a measurement of this, for example. Okay, let's just go with the green box. Let's say we go to the green box and we take the highest height. Now we say to ourselves, which is higher? Okay, that first wave or the third one? Well, because this green box is actually not, this whole thing is fitting inside of it, it's pretty obvious that, well, if this one was the height of this one, and that's the height of the previous one, obviously this one is smaller than that one. You can even confirm with a Fibonacci extension as well, which will probably confirm that's not even 1-to-1. Alright, there's the 1-to-1 up over there where wave 5 actually hit. But now we got to confirm which is smaller. Wave 5, or sorry, this wave right here, or the 5th wave. Now we do the exact same thing to test. You can do Fibonacci or this. And what we've confirmed now is wave 5 is actually the smallest, right? And that's what Elliot says. It says that as long as wave 3 is never the shortest wave, this is acceptable. And it's also acceptable because wave 4 ended up crossing into the wave 1 territory, which is more than okay. And then after that, we simply get a wave 3, okay? So let's just say we got a really bullish retracement, which we actually did, okay? We got a very bullish retracement at 148, which was a 382 Fibonacci level. And then now let's take trend-based Fib extension right here. We're gonna go from the top of the final wave there to what this could possibly mean over here. Oh, sorry, I'm a little bit scatterbrained. We're going to do this and it's going to show us what it could possibly mean, okay? So what we're saying is this. We're saying that if we're taking the entire height of here, okay, that's of that wave, and then we take the height of here as well, well, we can easily see that this wave 3 is clearly bigger than this one. which perfect, fits the criteria. So now when I break down the Elliott wave structure, I get something like that. I get 1, 2, I get 3, I get 4, and now I get 5, okay? That is my Elliott wave breakdown structure of the first 5. Now the rest is definitely going to be confusing, I would imagine, right? So then do we have any structures at this particular one that might have given us clues? Yeah, we're not really at a relevant Fibonacci point quite yet. So let's zoom in a little bit closer. You know what? I'm actually getting really under the weather and very sick like during this video right here. And I'm actually starting to get scatterbrained. I've been under the weather for so long, and there's this flu going around my city that sometimes I just lose my train of thought. So I apologize if I seem a little bit scatterbrained here, okay? So let's go to 4 hour first of all. We're not even gonna do like an RSI or anything analysis. We're just gonna keep it strictly, yeah. We're just gonna keep it strictly. I meant to say Elliott wave only. I was just looking at this structure. I apologize. And we'll get into a MACD and a histogram analysis another day, okay? So let's look at the dates and compare with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin right here is on the left, and Ethereum is on the right. If you take a look at Ethereum's final day of the uptrend, it was roughly June the 26th. And if you take a look at here as well, for Bitcoin, it was the exact same day, June 26th. Therefore, these two must be equivalent, okay? Now, if Bitcoin was ABC up here, or down here rather, then that must mean by deduction on the same dates as well, that this must also be an ABC coming to downside right here. A little bit truncated, but that's okay, we'll accept that. Okay, so now that we've established that that's both an ABC, and then for Bitcoin as well, we've established that that's an X, right? In my previous technical analysis, that's certainly an X. But we don't want to write that quite yet. So the way that I've seen this is like this for Bitcoin. But let me show you, and then I'll write it, okay? This is W, where the impulse wave began. That's X for the failure, and we're searching for an ABC somewhere well down over there, okay? Now, if that were true, and since the rally ended at the same time, by deduction, is it also safe to say that, hold on, I'm just double checking the date, June 26th, June 26th. This one here was July the 16th, this one was July the 16th. So the downtrend ended as well, right here. Okay, so this attempted to break to the upside, it just didn't work out, unfortunately. So I'm just getting my Elliott wave out here. So now that's W, that's X for denoting a failure, and that's Y somewhere down over here. But we'll be a lot more specific about it, of course, okay? Alright, so now if that was actually ABC, the initial one right there, then that means that we're searching for another 2 zigzags coming to the downside. So if you see here, this here is about... I just want to let you guys know that since like 10 seconds ago, to right now, it's about 6 hours later. I got really tired and I had to take a rest there for a little bit. And I was getting very scatterbrained as well. So I'm going to break this down better, actually. I screwed it up earlier. So if you take a look at where the rally ended, okay, it was July the 26th, okay? And then for Bitcoin, it was the same thing as well. Or sorry, for Ethereum. Sorry, I mean June the 26th for Bitcoin, and then June the 26th for Ethereum. And then it ended reaching the low here on July the 16th, just like how Ethereum reached the low here as well on July the 16th, right? Therefore, I got to do this a little bit better. I got to call this my ABC now. Just like how I've got to call this my ABC. Okay. This one made a really nice zigzag coming to the downside. Take a look at it. Isn't that kind of beautiful? The way that he did that? I do. And then now we call this one an ABC again. And a lot of people have asked me earlier about this, okay? You guys can Google it to death if you want, okay? The reason why I'm calling this an ABC is only because of hindsight. First, after the ABC ends, I would denote it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it actually successfully made an impulse wave. But because it didn't, and I know that's now an X, I'm now changing the denotation of it. I'm calling this an ABC now, because that's what it is. It's an ABC structure with only 3 waves. You can't call it 1, 2, 3. You can only call it an ABC for the failure. Make sense, guys? Because it's only 3 waves and it's a failure, and that's where, and between W and X is denoted as ABC, all right? So then if I do that, then that means that because of the 2 dates where it's reaching the top of the rally on June 26th and the bottom of the rally July the 16th, we can easily say to ourselves that, well, it's most likely going to follow the same suit as well. So this one finished the rally August 6th. This one finished the rally August 6th. So now we know that we're on a very similar structure for both Ethereum and Bitcoin, okay? And we know that, hey, yes, even though Bitcoin ended up rallying a lot more initially, it ended up catching up and correlating to Bitcoin. So now what we know is that this is making an ABC structure. Darn right it is, okay? This is making an ABC structure coming to the downside. And this date was August the 29th, roughly, okay? And this one here, same thing, August the 29th, roughly, as well. So then I know that this is most likely 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 right here, maybe. Right around there. Okay? So once again, this A structure is August the 29th, which is about right there. That means that this is most likely A right here, and that is B right there. And now we are searching for a C as well somewhere. Okay? Now, the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum right now is that Bitcoin is actually making a descending type of triangle with this red right here around 70, we'll say 7,800, okay? 7,800 seems to be like one of those, 7,800 is one of those places where it seems like it really wants to break down. And the way that I'm counting for Ethereum here is very, very simple, actually. I don't even know if that's the actual count for it right now, but like this, like here we're calling it 1 first, and then we call this that, and then we call this all to 3, right? So this one's a little bit harder to do that on because this is very identified right here where it goes down. So that means that I can't just call that 1 and then 2 and then this is 3. Like, it's just not proportional. But it doesn't seem like I have a choice right now but to do that, okay? So this is where the complication ends up differing or differentiating from Bitcoin, where it doesn't really correlate that well anymore as well, okay? So then we know that this cannot be the first structure, and that's the second, and that's 1 and that's 2, because 2 retraces more than 100% of wave 1 right there, okay? So now I'm extremely confused about this particular count, because it just doesn't make sense that here, right, this ended on October the 11th, or sorry, September the 11th, and September the 11th here was like, hold on, right here, this one reached September the 6th, okay? On September the 6th, we were like over here already. So it's not really correlating that well at all. If you take a look at these dates. Like B's date was September the 6th. But B we have up here September the 19th. If we went to September the 6th, it'd be something like right there. Okay? Which is a little bit odd, you have to admit, right? I'd say so indeed. So this is the way that I am seeing this right now, where I'm seeing this as the W. I'm seeing this as, or sorry, that was a 0 point W, and who knows where the heck this one is now, okay? And that's what I'm actually hunting for. But what I do see already is this. I see 1, excuse me, 1, 2, huge drop in 3, ABC upwards 4, and 5 down here with a truncated 8, or truncated 5th for the 8. And I see this section right here as as AB, okay, whereas this section right there is considered part of the A. It goes A, I think, and then B, and then C, going to the upside for the corrective counterwave upwards. And now I'm just trying to get 5 waves in here. And this is the hard part because it's not really breaking down to the way it should, okay? Like we're hovering, we're fighting above. Every time we fall below 163, it ends up bouncing fairly heavily up there. But if I were to take a look at a long-term support, it's going to be like right in this area, pretty much. Right in this area all the way down to about 150. I think we're going to find some pretty heavy support there. Because you have to take a look at this particular region right here, okay? I'm trying to zoom in for you. You have to take a look at this particular region. That's going to be pretty strong, in my opinion, as a support. Like we're talking right here. See what I mean? So I don't know if it's just going to break down right away. If it does break from there, 150 is going to be a very strong psychological number, in my opinion. I mean, we took a while to, you know, we didn't really take a while to break out of it. But if you take a look here, right, let me zoom in for you as well. If you take a look on this day, this is where we're at right now for the price, okay? Like right around here. If you take a look here, we actually ended up bouncing very heavily, okay, off of it right around now, and that was a big bump upwards. So I think this is going to be some sort of relevant point right now for Ethereum to hold above. For sure, if we end up downtrending here and we end up searching for another wave, the support would easily be found at above 150, in my opinion. And then if you took a look at Bitcoin right now, just doing a quick comparison of it, you'll see that Bitcoin's RSI, or rather Fibonacci level, it's between 0.5 and 618, right? Right around that region. And then we compare it to here as well, and what do we see? We see that it's actually one of the coins that's not even correlating it to that well to Bitcoin. It's actually fallen below some key numbers already, okay? So we see that we're falling below the golden ratio here. So it just seems like to me C is gunning for about 150 range. Like the low side there, 150, and definitely above 786. So for my long entry, I will definitely be considering, as long as it levels off the 150-ish range, 155 to 160, that's where I'll be accumulating a little bit more for a longer term. Other than that, yeah, that's the bear side, right, that I have. And of course, I don't have a bullish side. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have a bullish side right now for Ethereum quite yet. I'm quite bearish on this in general. If you take a look at, for example, the MACD here on, say, the daily, there's no way it's just gonna, right? This looked like it was stepping upwards, but you guys know I call it stair stepping, and I call it the curvature of the MACD. And that curvature does not look ugly. It does not look good, does it? It's kind of how it is. It's just momentum. Momentum is very important to me, and MACD can gauge that. And I don't see any momentum going to the upside right now. In fact, I see momentum going to the downside because it's rolling over. It's getting lower and lower, this histogram, right? Especially with yesterday with that big sharp drop. Okay, when I say sharp drop, I'm talking about 175 to 168. Hence the really big stair stepping down of the actual MACD. You take a look at the Ethereum 6 hour, and we're actually in a negative already right now, okay? So I'm a little bit nervous about it. But I'll show you guys the bullish count, okay? Like that, or sorry, like where my targets would be if I had a bullish view on it right now, okay? Well, if I had a bullish view on it, and let's just say for some miraculous reason, this whole wave was C, okay? And then this is an impulse wave going upwards. Well, next high that I would definitely challenge is probably 222. That's kind of what I would be looking at, because that's where the interim is for B. But what kind of confirmation do we even have to enter right now? The answer is absolutely nothing. So I'm just waiting very diligently. Like, I wish I can give you guys a bullish count right now. But you know, if Bitcoin ends up rallying to 8,800 like I expected to, maybe, right? Maybe. If it does get there, I'm probably gonna see a rally all the way to the B here, maybe. So actually probably not, man. Like, okay, let's just be realistic here, Phil. I'm gonna take the Fibonacci range of here, and my target was 87 to 88, right? So then that's about 11% gain there. So let's just say I take the Fibonacci structure of here. It's actually probably retracing high already. Yeah, look at that. It's like well above it. So I would probably say that if Bitcoin ends up rallying to 87, 8800, we'll probably find resistance above 180 for Ethereum. it doesn't seem like it can get that much higher. Bitcoin is severely bearish right now, except for this one final wave going to the upside. So I've got a lot more to think about when it comes to Ethereum. I hope that this has presented a very valid case, or maybe gave you some perspective as well. I do want to apologize for being very scatterbrained this video, I've noticed, and yeah, just very groggy. And some good news, of course, that tomorrow, guys, I'm gonna launch the t-shirts, and I actually have a hoodie as well, and they're super well priced. They're super good quality as well. You're paying for top-notch quality and basically the brand to feel proud as well. So I'll be launching it tomorrow. It'll be delivered to you in 5 to 7 business days at your door with a 100% refund policy. So if you don't like it, you can, of course, send it back to me, and we'll go from there. So other than that, I really look forward to showing you guys some of the cool stuff that I have planned. And I think it's going to be pretty cool, the t-shirts and the private baby whale club that's coming out very soon as well. So have yourselves a great night, and once again I apologize if I was extremely scatterbrained in this video. It's more so me doing it for someone who requested it, and I can't see myself doing this often. Okay, have a great night. Bye now.